Alrighty, so as the thumbnail shows, we're going to just be transferring some stuff over from this one to this one. And so without further ado, let's go ahead, let's get started on that. All right, so it was suggested to me that I use a microphone setup, one of these, because sometimes it would be hard to hear me. So I decided to invest into one. And I'm always taking feedback from you guys on video quality and everything. So that was one thing I did. Went on Amazon and pretty much purchased the cheapest one. And so far, it sounds like the quality might be pretty good. So we'll see. But during this whole thing and whatnot, I'm going to try it out for this video and stuff like that. If you saw my Instagram, you will see that I polished this up right here using 1,000 grit sandpaper and everything. So that was a few weeks back. I did that. But this whole build and everything is actually kind of exciting and everything. So, and I know it's probably a little bit of a downgrade in power to use this one, but this will be my wife's and everything. This one was just a bit too much, I would think. But I'm gonna be sending it off to somebody, and by the time this video comes out, you would already seen who it was. But if you haven't, go check out Jeremy Bell's channel and everything like that. Hopefully by then it's already been done. But I'm going to be sending him pretty much just the block with the head and everything and stuff. We're going to be taking the exhaust, putting over here, the clutch over to here, and the carburetor and the intake setup over to here. I'm going to strip the body down and give him this 90 series to have fun with and everything. See what kind of magic he can do with that and everything. So what kind of hot saw he can build and everything, since he's really starting to get into the kart engines and everything like that and whatnot. So I hate that we're going to be having, I kind of hate it, but I don't. This carburetor works fantastic on here, but it is broken. But also the kits for these it's difficult to find the needle and seats for these, because between this one and then you get to the BDC 14, they have different needle and seats. I've ordered the kits for them. And then when you get to the BDC 16, it also has a fitted seat in it with a different needle. So it's, if you could find the needle and seat setups that fit this one, this is the early pressure pulse style. They work fantastic. I mean, absolutely awesome. But the Tildeson is more of an updated carburetor setup. You can still find kits about everywhere for these and everything. And I really want to test this carburetor out. I like the linkage on it and stuff. And I've already built the air filter adapter last year, printed it out and stuff to fit this filter I had just laying around on it and everything. And it also has it's kind of a velocity stack on the inside. And so the transition from this to the velocity stack is just awesome. So I really think going and updating this one with this is just going to be a perfect combination. But we're going to take the entire intake off of this and this one and swap this over. So we'll see how fast that happens. But we'll go ahead. We're going to do the muffler. We're going to get the clutch off. We'll get the parts off of this one first, and then we'll swap them over to this one. Sorry for such a long explanation on this and everything, but I hope you guys are enjoying the series and whatnot to this point and whatnot. So let's go ahead. Let's get it going. Just to do a quick look inside of this engine, I've already looked at it from backside, but the piston and everything It's immaculate. You see right there, that's where the pin is at. It's a piston pin to keep the rings from rotating, going over exhaust ports and stuff to avoid it from catching on. So, right there. All right. We'll continue on with her. And I'm sorry, I'm sounding a little nasally today too. Ugh, weather change and cleaning house and stuff. Done that. So we'll get this muffler off of here. This gasket looks good. I'll throw a little bit of sealer on it, and then we'll go ahead and toss on our other intake. I got to clean the bottom of it though. It's got some gasket material on it, but that won't take long. And I'll finish the disassembly of the block and everything that's going to Jeremy off camera. No need to do it on camera here. So go ahead and we'll continue that, getting this stuff transferred. All right, there it is. So not very difficult, and a guy could do this if he sits down for a little while and everything. You can do this with this kind of swap in no time at all. I mean, this is stupid simple. I kept this top handle because the linkage was already on it. Has the return spring still in here. I don't think the other one did. Well, I mean, no, this one did have the return spring in it, but also it was just all set up and blue because you gotta have something to make it stand out. But it was all set and ready for it, so make things simpler. Wide open throttle. It is a Tildeson. It's been restamped for some reason, but it was a 360 or something or whatever. It's 36 something, but then it had restamping HL324A332. So I don't know if somebody restamped it for cheating purposes back in the day or what, but for the price I got it for on eBay a year ago, I thought it was pretty worth it and everything. Big old, ew, some crud down there. Yeah. But it's got a big old throat on it and everything. Enough to keep things mild and interesting, I guess. But it's got the velocity stack kind of built into it also. Well, you guys can see it. Now the next question is, does it run? So I guess that's the thing we're going to have to go outside and do. I'm unsure about this locking. Still, this washer, this locking I've had to use and everything, it kind of leaves very little clearance for the chain and stuff. The clearance is there, it'll work. It's just I've never really been tickled by it. And this front stud wants to vibrate out on this so suddenly and everything. So I'll have to glue that in and everything. But those are little minor off-camera details. That GM muffler is definitely going to help just with the looks, but maybe a little bit on performance too versus the chainsaw muffler. Which, when I took it off, more crappy pieces fell out of the inside. So, all right, well, might as well go outside and see if she runs, right? Hopefully it runs with this carburetor. If not, then we're going to be swapping guts from the broken one over to another body, but that's going to take some time. And going back to the other intake. Also, this is running snakeskin reeds on the inside of it too. They are alcohol resistant and everything, but it's got brand new reeds on it and whatnot. So, really fun. I mean, this is basically just, you just build some kind of weekend racing stall. Even if you're not first place, you're out there qualifying. You built something pretty cool and fun to just go have fun with and everything. People kind of look at that and they're like, "What is going on with this?" You've got this big old carbon intake setup. You've got this muffler on it, and it's like, "What have you done?" And well, here's a video series of what I've done to make this, but it's just they're not super difficult to do, and you can use other body styles too. With the oil tanks that are up here. You can do that, and if you use a sloper intake and turn the carburetor, these carburetors, you turn them upside down so everything stacks up, then you will clear the oil tank and whatnot and everything. You can retain that. So you're not just limited to this body style, the D30, D36s and everything, but you will need the sloper intakes, and those are a little harder to find, sought after, versus these straight up and down ones. It will get in the way. So, but all right, I'm rambling on. Let's go ahead and let's see if it'll start. It's cold outside. It went from a nice 60-degree day 2 days ago to it's like maybe 40s and rainy and poopy out. All right, I've got the microphone off. That was it's kind of almost an inconvenience. I'll have to mess around with it more, but I tried to run it with this, and I've been in it 3 times now, and it acts like it just isn't drawing fuel for some reason. And that was almost the issue I had on the other saw. But it's weird that, it's doing that, because this is the only thing I changed. While it was running, I'd have to choke it every now and then, and you could see it physically pull fuel. But it wasn't coming out of the high speed, low speed, took it apart, sprayed it, cleaned everything. So there's something going on with this, the carburetor itself, that's having a problem. So we're just going to I'm just going to put the old one back on. We'll live with the old broken one right here. We'll do that. And what's going to happen, I'll just get the JB Weld steel stuff, and I'll try to mold it around and fix it, sand it, put it down and everything, drill and tap for a hole and everything, so I can make an adapter and run. So we'll do that instead. But this old carburetor was proven to work. The problem is, now I guess I could try to make the throttle linkage off of this work. Since this carburetor is being a ding-dong, we'll just go ahead and we'll do that and everything, and mess around. Maybe there'll be enough here to do that, or I could just flip the carburetor around, but I'd have to make it more of a push style instead of a pull. I'd have to make it a pull, but this is a push, so I don't think I can get away with doing that either. So, all right, I'm just gonna quickly do that and then bring you back when we're good. All right, I spent I'd say about 30 minutes here. I can get the throttle linkage to work, and because that tungsten carb's having problems, it isn't even worth trying to save the linkage for that. So I tried to first, I'm thinking, all right, I'll bend it to go into there. I'm like, wait a minute here. I have the stuff to do this properly. So since I was straight, just curved it over to this side, drilled for this little fitting right here, the screw fitting, and it has now allowed for complete free motion and from idle to wide open throttle. So that's what that has given us. So we are back to the other carb. We're just going to use it. We're going to use this carburetor, and I could probably, like I say, get the steel JB Weld putty fill stuff, scratch this up a bit and make it work and everything like that, because the carburetor was working. I'll deal with finding needles and seats and everything. I'll probably do that here shortly, but if it's going to like this carburetor and stuff, we're going to stick with this one right here and everything. So I guess that's the fun of it. So now, make sure she's happy, go back out, start her up, run her. I have no idea what I did with the bar. I think it's somewhere in this room, but I think it may have slid underneath of my shelves that I have here. Everything's falling down on me next to me. Tool sets. I think it may have slid under there, and I gotta find it, but I don't have any bar studs at the moment. So we'll go ahead and see if this is over and everything, and I'll do a mad search for the bar, probably rob some stuff, and we'll see if we can make a cut with it, or if anything, and see what goes on with it. She looks like she's gonna be a good runner. Ugly as sin. I doubt it's gonna overheat, honestly. and everything. But if it tries to do something, I can always rig up a redneck setup here. I can make it a shroud, bolt it here, and just have it go bow on the backside and everything, enough to divert air where it's supposed to. But yeah, so I don't even know what to call this thing. Like I say, it's just overkill firewood saw, old ugly saw. I don't know. So all right, let's go ahead and let's see if that runs. Please run. And another diagnostic on this. It's suctioning air. Got a bad fuel line right here. Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is going on? I can see, this is why I like using Tygon fuel line. I could see air coming from the inside fitting on the tank. And the tank is filled halfway. This is completely submerged, the pickup here. So what we've got going on is a bad line. When I pinch this off and blow in this, there's a leak. So now I got to take this line off of here, and I think I might have another one. I doubt it. But but this line is bad. So I'll get that off here. No, the line isn't bad. It's just from somewhere within, either the plug-in on it, when it's plugged on, it's sucking air. No, the line's fine. So I think it's leaking around that fitting right there. It's just pulling air from in the tank. So I'll get this figured out here. I kind of figure if I'm going to put brand new line on this thing or have to fight one back on, I'm going with Tygon. And also, the ends of these lines right here fit perfectly inside this. And this is, I don't know what size it is. It ain't saying. I don't know, it's just got a bunch of letters and numbers and whatever on it. So, all right. Anyways, put that back down in there. Couldn't tell you where, I'm pretty sure it was at the fitting where the other one went on. It's such a sharp barb on it that it just probably made a cut through or something. It's really hard to figure it out. Yeah, I could have taken the front of the fuel tank off. Yeah, I probably could have fought it like that, but because on the inside of the tank, there's a barb. On the outside, there's not. So now to go once again, try this again, and see if it's sucking air. That might have been the problem with the Troubleshooting. It couldn't pump because it was sucking air. I'm gonna be so disappointed. But you know what? We're dedicated. It's happening. This carb.
I just want to say thanks for watching, and I'm thoroughly impressed with this build right here. I'm kind of jealous the wife's going to get this one. That is a perfect little firewood saw right there. Okay, well, not little. We've got, what, 100cc engine on this thing? But she's loud, she's proud. But wow, that thing just, it eats. But that's a 8-tooth with a square tooth chain, 8-pin sprocket. Just a short little roller nose I had laying around, and that thing just eats. So I could not be happier with the results of this. So we're just gonna keep that McCulloch carburetor on there. So I just want to say thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we got a lot more in our future here. So until then, thanks for watching, everybody.